I call upon Councillor Reynolds to move the motion to appoint Councillor Peter Dobbs to the office of Ceremonial Mayor for the municipal year to 2015-2016. I've washed my mouth and can't do a thing with it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It gives me great pleasure to move the motion to appoint Councillor Peter Dobbs to the office of Ceremonial Mayor for the municipal year 2015 to 2016. I first met Peter back in 1997, which, gosh, seems a long time ago now, in a former studio of Harold Riley's in Fire Station Square, which Hazel Blears was using as her campaign headquarters at the time in her bid to become MP for Salford. The first impression of Peter was that he was a very smart, well-dressed, well-mannered and a very good-natured person. And before you panic, Peter, I'm still of that opinion. As I got to know Peter better at meetings and campaigning together, I soon realised what a lovely gentleman Peter is. An example of this was when I went on holiday to Sitges in Spain with my best friend Belinda, which was actually in the year that Peter was elected as a councillor for Odsall Ward. And it was a town that we weren't particularly familiar with. And on the first night, we'd been to a couple of bars that we weren't keen on. And we agreed that we'd try one more and then we'd call it a night. So we were getting a little bit fed up, and usually on holiday, I never bump into anybody I know. But we tried another bar, and to my surprise, there was Peter with his partner Alan and a close friend of theirs, Sue, from Granada TV, ordering drinks. So Peter immediately beckoned us over, asked us to join him, and he made suggestions about the best places to go in Sitges. He arranged for us all to go out to a meal at one of his favourite restaurants, and we went for a lovely meal together, and we met up a few times during the week and had a thoroughly good time. And Peter was great fun to be with, and I'll always remember the kindness that he showed me and my friend on that holiday. And that kindness Peter shows in his working life as a councillor, a role he's been dedicated to for the last 15 years, helping to improve the lives of the people he represents in Odsall Ward, as well as the wider city. He's been passionate about strengthening that community in Odsall during a period of absolutely immense change, with the further development of Salford Quays, Media City, new housing, schools and businesses which have sprung up, and a new health centre. And obviously there's been the regeneration along Chapel Street, which through the boundary change came into the ward of Odsall a number of years ago. And Peter's helped orchestrate these changes, which it hasn't been easy. And I know that myself from being a councillor in Langworthy Ward, where I've seen a lot of regeneration. But Peter's shown he's got what it takes when the going gets tough. And his commitment also to helping the most vulnerable of this city can be shown through his work that he's done with Booth's Charities during the past decade. The CEO of Booth's Charities, Mrs. Linda Needham, wanted to share her comments with everyone today. And she says, Councillor Dobbs is held in high esteem at Booth's Charities, where he's a housing trustee and distributor. A friend and valued key member of Booths, he is a great ambassador for Salford. And I'm sure the same appreciation can be said regarding Peter's work as a trustee of the Salfordium, which gives older Salford residents respite and the opportunity to have a holiday in Southport. Peter's also given many years' service as a school governor to the young people of Odsall Ward. He's been on 2 schools, he's still on those 2 schools, St Philip's C of E Primary and Primrose Hill, where he's vice chair of that governing body. I think that Peter's a superb role model. He cares deeply that children and young people should be allowed to reach their full potential. And he's also been a member of the Children's Services Scrutiny for the past 15 years. And I was a member on that committee when I first got elected to the council. And Peter, again, was a great help and support to me in those early years. In Peter's other working life in television, he is also held in high esteem. And what I really admire about Peter is that despite working with numerous glamorous stars of stage and screen, and in a profession renowned for kiss and tell stories and gossip, Peter has never ever revealed any secrets. So I've never been privy to any Coronation Street plots or any other juicy stories for that matter. Because Peter, he's always conducted himself with the utmost professionalism, dignity and integrity. Peter, for me, is a true gentleman in every sense of the word. So Peter has proved that he has all the qualities necessary to be an excellent mayor for this great city of Salford. I know that he'll get fantastic support from his partner Alan in his role as consort, and his lifelong friend Claire in her role as mayoress. And of course, Councillor Karen Garrido as Deputy Ceremonial Mayor. I wish Peter and everybody else the very best in his new role over the next 12 months, and every success with the fundraising that he's going to do for the charities that he's chosen, which are all excellent charities, and I know he has a particular interest in. And those charities do, I think, reflect Peter's interests. I'm sure he will find this coming municipal year very rewarding, although hectic, very enjoyable as well. Thank you.
I call upon Councillor Ray Mashiter to second the motion.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I may just say how personally I am so pleased to see Peter becoming the ceremonial mayor for this coming year. Since my membership of this council, some 7 years ago, Peter has managed, and I don't know how, to keep me well steered and through lots of patience, I suppose. Peter may be quieter than most, but you are certainly not shy. Peter may choose to reserve opinion for the open tit-for-tat public banter, but that does not mean he does not hold a firm resolve. Rather, Peter, you choose to interject with great timing, and this way is how you simply get the job done and deliver without fuss. I mean, no doubt, Peter's chosen charities will benefit enormously from your work and your focus this coming year, much more than financially. I just know, through Peter's approach, the promotion of a strong civic society, and how our youngsters can be further engaged with, adding to their experience on the journey to becoming good, upstanding citizens of the future, is in safe hands. Peter, wherever you are at this moment, enjoy your year. You deserve it, my colleague, my good friend. Ceremonial Mayor, I do second Peter Dobbs to be the next Ceremonial Mayor for our city. Thank you so much.
I call upon Councillor Christopher Clarkson to support the motion.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. In a small break with tradition, I'd just like to start by thanking you for your term in office. I've not had a chance to do it during the main meeting, so I just want to say you've done an absolutely fantastic job on behalf of the city, and thank you very much. Councillor Peter Dobbs is... Councillor Peter Dobbs is, I think, what you would call one of this city's quiet achievers. He gets on with the job. You don't necessarily always get the same verbose and colourful speeches that you do from other people, but he gets the job done. He's a hard worker. He's a good advocate for the people that he represents. I am genuinely delighted to stand up and support him as the city mayor, not city mayor, crikey, sorry, ceremonial mayor. Either or, you know. I think he will be a great advocate for this city. He is, as I think Councillor Reynolds mentioned earlier, a lovely man. He genuinely is a very decent person. I think he will exemplify the best of what the city has to offer. On a personal note, I have to say it's wonderful to see, I think, the first same-sex couple acting as mayor and consort as well for the city. I think that is an achievement. And whilst it goes to show that this city has changed in terms of its outlook and its aspirations, the fundamental core of decency and equality that has always made Salford Salford is still there. Thank you.
I put the motion to the members of the council for confirmation.
Can I invite the Ceremonial Mayor, Councillor Gina Reynolds and Councillor Ray Masheter to retire from the council chamber? Can I ask everyone to remain standing while we go through the declaration of acceptance of office, please? Just repeat after me, Councillor Dobbs. I, Peter Dobbs,
I, Peter Dobbs,
having been elected to the office of Ceremonial Mayor of the City of Salford,
having been elected to the office of Ceremonial Mayor of the City of Salford,
declare that I take that office upon myself
declare that I take that office upon myself
and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it
and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it
according to the best of my judgment and ability.
according to the best of my judgment and ability.
I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct
I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct
which is expected of members of Salford City Council.
which is expected of members of Salford City Council.
Could I ask you to sign it? I think you might want a couple of photographs as you sign it. There you go. I could present you with the mayoral requisition, Councillor Dobbs.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Council, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the right worshipful, the ceremonial mayor for the municipal year 2015-2016, Councillor Peter Dobbs.
It's on now. Yeah. Please be seated. Thank you. Well, I'm a little bit overwhelmed and a little bit nervous as well, but good afternoon, distinguished guests from near and far, honourable members of the Council, family, dear friends and well-wishers. Thank you for being here today, and I'm welcome. I'm delighted to be speaking to you under these very happy circumstances, for previously little did I ever think that I would have the honour of standing here before you, in the process of being inaugurated as the ceremonial mayor of this great and vibrant city of Salford. I am profoundly grateful to and wish to thank Councillor Reynolds and Councillor Masheter who nominated me. I would also like to express my sincere thanks to Councillor Christopher Clarkson, who supported my nomination on behalf of the opposition party. You have my assurance that during the forthcoming 12 months, I will work extremely hard to fulfil the trust you have placed in me. Before I continue with my speech, I want to thank the retiring Mayor, the wonderful Councillor Christine Hudson, plus Linda and Colette for their extremely dedicated and hard work. Christine's support and advice to me has certainly been invaluable over the last 12 months, and I cannot stress enough how much I am grateful to her for her professionalism and endless patience. She will certainly be missed. I definitely feel that Christine, Linda and Colette are a tough act to follow. I shall be looking particularly to them for survival tips on functions involving cake tasting, since one official occasion last year called upon them to taste a total of 36 different cakes in one go. Don't worry, Christine, I won't mention about you going to the drive-in McDonald's on your way from... You've all been fantastic ambassadors for this city, and well done, and I say you'll be sorely missed. I would also like to thank the Member Services Ceremonial Mayor's Office for invaluable help and support over the last few months in preparing my inauguration and diary. Last but not least, I am indebted to the late Councillor Susan Miller, who encouraged me to stand for the position of councillor all those years ago. She was instrumental in beginning my political career, and without her support and confidence in me, I would not be here before you today. Since 2000, during my 15 years as an elected councillor, I have seen both Odsal and Salford grow in stature. I have enjoyed serving as a school governor for Primrose Hill Primary School and St Philip's Church of England School, both of which are situated in Odsal. The Odsal Ward is now equipped with numerous new homes, jobs, shops, the creation of an impressive and much-needed health centre, plus the country's first media city and Lowry Theatre at Salford Quays. which has shone an international spotlight on the area. I'm delighted to have played a role in uniting local residents, the council and business to work together to benefit our community. It gives me great pride that I am a member of Oswald Community Arts, a fantastic organisation which is noted for the depth and breadth of its activities, and also that I have held the post of director there since 1997. I'm also extremely and very, very proud to have worked with Boo's Charities for a number of years as a housing trustee and distributor, and I hope to intend to carry on working with them in the year ahead. Boo's was established in the 17th century for the benefit and welfare of the inhabitants of the City of Salford, with particular reference to helping those who are poor, aged and infirm. This unique charitable trust has achieved much to help our citizens by providing medical facilities at Salford Royal, housing, day centres, recreational, leisure and educational facilities. The Humphrey Booth Resource Centre for older persons with mental health problems has also carried out important and much needed work by helping people with dementia and their hard-working carers. Excuse me. My aims over the forthcoming year are firstly to preside over a united council in which all the political parties work together for the benefit of our community. We have an especially interesting and diverse community here in Salford, and I intend to continue celebrating and promoting the equality and diversity within it. My prime aim is to protect and nurture this sense of community in all its diversity, ensuring equality for all, no matter what age, race, religion or sexual orientation. I will support the young because I am mindful that they are our future. I believe that the best possible thing about the future is that it happens one day at a time. Therefore, small steps of encouragement plus continued support and understanding will always make a huge difference in ensuring the best possible life course for our young people. Another impressive and worthwhile organisation which I would like to mention and pay tribute to and promote is the City Mayor's initiative for Salford as a cooperative city. The Salford Cooperative Commission was set up in 2012 with the involvement of partners from community and voluntary sectors across the city. This organisation develops approaches which promote a cooperative, creative and connected city. It has promoted the Living Wage campaign, the Employment Charter, Armed Forces Covenant and Neighbourhood Services Review. Connected to the Spirit of Salford campaign, devised to share the unique characteristics and personality of our great city. My nominated charities are, firstly, the Andrew Cook Music Award Trust and Memorial Fund. This charity helps all children across the city by helping them to afford to buy and be tutored in musical instrument of their choice, founded in the memory of Andrew Cook, who was the grandson of Councillor Christine Hudson and the son of Colette. It not only helps children to develop socially, but also helps them to enjoy learning a new skill and build up confidence while doing so. Music has proved to help children in all the aforesaid ways and helps to promote self-discipline and creativity, whilst allowing young people an opportunity for enjoyment and self-expression. This charity is extremely worthwhile and precious, especially today when funding in the arts is being ever more pared back. Secondly, Salford Lads and Girls Club. An odd soul landmark made famous by Morrissey in recent years and originally established in 1903 as Club for Boys. Salford Lads and Girls Club was officially opened by the founder of the Scout movement, Robert Baden-Powell, in 1904. It organises numerous excursions plus an extensive range of activities for local youngsters, including football, snooker, table tennis, jiu-jitsu, boxing training and kickboxing. Among its former members are actors and musicians such as Albert Finney, Alan Clark, leader of the Singer of the Hollies, and Graham Nash, who later founded Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young. Albert McPherson, Steve Fleet, Eddie Coleman and Brian Dole, all 1950s footballers and are also ex-members. And finally, Salford Loaves and Fishes. Working in collaboration with Manchester City Mission to provide the Windsor Drop-In Centre, this charity supports up to 60 homeless, vulnerable and or violated people with the aim of helping them to get back on their feet. This daytime shelter provides a warm meal and a shower and enables clients to access the Citizens Advice Bureau. It also provides a vast range of amenities such as being able to access mental health services, drug and alcohol support, and through the support of 2 support workers, obtain advice on benefits and housing. The opportunity to buy good quality second-hand clothes and grow produce in a garden provided goes hand in hand with the provision of medical services and weekly activities such as football, arts and crafts, cookery and much more. My Lady Mayoress for the coming year will be my dear friend Claire McCourt, who's the First Assistant Director in Television and Film, and my chaplain, who has already had experience of the role of mayoral chaplain, will be the Reverend Sandra Kearney from St Clement's in Udsall, Church in Udsall. I wish to express my gratitude to them both. My consort will be my partner Alan, whose endless support and patience ensures he never tires of me recounting my experience of working with the greatest stage and film actor Laurence Olivier. In the mid-80s, I was doing costume fitting with Sir Laurence. The great man was known for being a perfectionist in his craft, and for some reason was cantankerous and rather agitated at this particular time. As a result, the fitting proved to be extremely hard work. After a few hours of this, I eventually told him to shut up and sit down. I then took a step back and waited for the ensuing explosion. To my utter amazement, he immediately obeyed me by sitting down in his chair. He raised his hands in hysterical laughter and in a superb gesture of surrender exclaimed in that wonderful voice of his, "Nobody ever, ever in my whole career has spoken to me like that." From that very moment, we became close friends, and I consequently went on to work on a number of his productions. So, motto of the story, councillors, beware, remember the story, and take note to you whenever I say to you, shut up and sit down. On a serious note, I do aim to ensure that meetings of the full council are conducted efficiently and always follow constitutional rules. The position of the councillor is one of which carries with it a great importance and demands that all meetings are conducted with both efficiency and mutual respect. In my opinion, it is crucially important that the mayoralty is accessible and inclusive to all. I stand here before you as a champion for the people of Salford, proud of their numerous achievements and always proactive in ensuring continuous improvement. Finally, I would like to reiterate the sentiments I expressed at the very beginning of my speech and repeat how proud I am to have been elected Ceremonial Mayor of this great city of Salford. I am proud and humble to be standing here before you today, proud to have been given this great task and yet humbled by your faith and trust in my ability. So many great and worthwhile initiatives are taking place in our great city, and I pledge that I will nourish these charities and initiatives with all my power and energy. I look forward to receiving your support during this coming year and know that by working together with so many amazing people, everything is possible now and in the foreseeable future. Thank you. Can I call upon Councillor Jimmy Hunt to move the motion of thanks to the retiring Ceremonial Mayor and Mayoress? This is for 2014 and 15.
Thank you, Chairman. It gives me a great honour to move the motion of thanks to the Ceremonial Mayor, Councillor Christine Hudson. And I've just a few things to say. If I heard it right before, you mentioned cake tasting, was that right? Oh, well, I heard it was wine tasting most of the time. I don't know if that's true or false. And Christine, Colette and Linda, you have been fine ambassadors for this city. Everywhere you've been, people have spoke about you, how good you've been to them, everybody. And I'll just give you an example. Christine was very involved, because during the term of office, I used to ring her up, or she used to ring me up, and we used to talk about different things. And one of the things that come out glowingly was that she used to go and visit primary schools and get the children interested in voting or getting involved, because a lot of these schools now have councils. And Christine's shown an interest in this, very much so. And I'll just give you an example. On voting day, the 7th of May, I was going into one of the schools in Cadishead to pick the numbers up. And one of the kids got hold of me and said, we've had our voting day today, and they did it exactly the same way that we do it. And he says Labour won by 25 votes. And they're young kids that voted the Labour into their school. And I thought that was fantastic. And that was all through what Christine did, because she invited schools to a mayor's parlour on numerous occasions. And Christine, Linda and Killer, I think you've done a fantastic job this last 12 months. And it gives me great honour to move the motion of thanks to the of you. Thank you.
I call upon Councillor Roger Jones to second the motion.
Thanks, Peter. I just want to add my congratulations to you. I'm sure you'll have a splendid year. And thanks to Christine, you have had a great year, and your mayoresses who have been, well, you've enjoyed it, haven't you? You've had a fantastic time. And you've all been proud of the city, but we've been proud of you. You've done splendidly. But last year, Christine, when you were out of the room, I told a story about you at Durham, which made everybody laugh because you were in your curlers and your face mask and various other things. But I've got a good one about Brussels as well, but it'll be brief. I promise you I won't delay everybody. But I can't resist this one because you finished as mayor now, so you can't be thrown out. In Brussels, we were there with, if you remember, with Gary Titley MEP on behalf of the Labour Party delegation, and we had a good trip around the European Parliament, then we had a meal at night, and we had a few glasses of wine, and we had a good time. And then when Gary always retired early, especially when I was around, and I never retire early, so I just summoned everybody and said, come on, let's go to a pub. I got everybody lost, which is not unusual, and we ended up walking through, I can only describe as an industrial estate right in the middle of Brussels, until we saw this light in the distance, and sure enough, it was a pub. Now, you've all heard of a house of ill repute, haven't you? Well, this was a pub of ill repute, although we didn't realise it at the time. And when we went in, Peter and I went to the bar. You sat in the window with Liz Payne. Do you remember Liz Payne? And so on. Dougie Daniels, who was a former councillor, he interrupted those who were dancing and did an excuse me, pushed this man out of the way and started dancing with the lady concerned. Peter and I were at the bar. And Peter just said to me, do you know where you've brought us, Roger? So I looked round and I said, well, no. What? He said, Liz and Christine are in the window. I said, yes. Well, there's a red light. There's a red light over them. And I said, well, I'm a Man United fan, so what's wrong with that? But anyway, the penny dropped. We grabbed Peter. I said to Christine and Liz, drink up. I don't think this is the place for a Salford City Councillor. So, Christine, my claim to fame is quite simple. I rescued you from a Brussels window.
I call upon Councillor Les Turner to support the motion of thanks.
Thank you and congratulations.
Oh, it's gone green. That better? When I was asked to second the vote of thanks to the retiring mayor and mayoresses, I did wonder to myself, I wonder how many events they managed to get through during the course of a year. So I did a little investigation and I found out that the current total is 272, which is no mean feat. That is an awful lot of events. And I hope they weren't all cake tasting or wine tasting. They were, right, okay, well that was a good year. But my mind goes back to one cold December night when I arrived at the Bridgewater Canal to see the Worsley Christmas Lights annual switch on. I soon spotted the mayor and mayoress huddled together, sandwiched between the banks of the Bridgewater Canal and Councillor Karen Garrido's mulled wine and mince pie stall, which, as always, was doing very brisk business. In fact, you could smell the mulled wine as you approached. The Mayor duly switched the lights on, which was the reason she was there, to cheers, and then welcomed Father Christmas's arrival. It was a rather brightly lit canal boat, if I remember, not his normal mode of transport. Then it was time to be on to another engagement. But I do know that the people attending that event, and there were many, and many, many children, as you can imagine, waiting to see Father Christmas, they were also pleased to see our Mayor. And they really appreciated the fact that they took the trouble on that cold night to go there for that switch on. So Christine, Colette and Linda, you have been great ambassadors for this great city, and I have pleasure in supporting the vote of thanks.
I put the motion to the members of the Council for confirmation. Aye. I will now present the retiring Ceremonial Mayor, Councillor Christine Hudson, and the retiring Mayoresses, Mrs Colette Nelson and Mrs Linda Waring, with a replica of the mayoral badge. I will now ask the Ceremonial Mayor, the retired Ceremonial Mayor, Councillor Christine Hudson, to stand and make her valedictory address.
Put that on. Yeah, that year went past quick. It doesn't seem like 5 minutes ago since we were stood here. We've had an absolutely wonderful year. Very humbling, very pleasing. Absolutely fantastic people we've met in this city. The charities, all the volunteers, the work that they do for this city save us an absolute fortune. So it's a real pleasure to go and say thank you to them from you, because that's the only way they can hear from you. And I made sure that it was from all of you, the thank you for the work that they did. And I'd like to say thank you to the Democratic Services, the ladies in the office, and Tim, the driver. Without them, this job couldn't be done. And they've supported us right the way through. Tim getting us there, them making the appointments, and everything they've done. They're absolutely fantastic, second to none. I'd like to thank Deacon Alison for the job she's done for us. She's been absolutely wonderful. She's enjoyed it, and it's opened her eyes to what goes on in the city. She's been amazed sitting here listening to all of you. She now wants to become a councillor. So she wants to be a councillor. So I would like to thank my two mayoresses. They've done an absolutely outstanding job of work. They really have. And again, they look absolutely wonderful. Well, don't the four of them look great sat there? They look beautiful. They really do. They've been shocked at all the work that goes on within the city, because they're not used to public life like we are and see what goes on. In fact, I've been a bit shocked at the things I've seen too, because there's more goes on than that we know about when you get out there. It's quite an eye-opener, actually. So I'd also like to thank my husband, who supported me right the way through this, my son-in-law and my brother-in-law that supported them too, because without your family, all your family, all the family have pulled together. You couldn't do this job, as i.e. you couldn't be a councillor without your family at the back of you. And they're the unsung heroes, and they need a thank you as well. But we've done some absolutely fantastic things, apart from tasting wine and eating cakes. I never wanted to see a cake again after we'd done that one. If you go to that, I tell you, take bottles of water with you. It's it was an ordeal. I was quite excited when I went until I got halfway through. We've done some absolutely fabulous things. We've met Joey, the war horse. He came trotting down the thing to meet us. That was absolutely fantastic. We went to Broughton House. We turned on the lantern and planted 3 poppies that the who was it that bought them? Warren, what is he? Lord Lieutenant, that's what I was looking for. It's this age thing. It's not good. It's not good. He bought the poppies and we planted them. And it was a wonderful time to go there and see that. So I was very proud to do that. The number of things that we've done, you could go on all day thinking about it. You've got some wonderful experiences to come. And you meet all new friends, all new people, and absolutely fantastic people. And the children of this city, the things they ask you, they don't care. How old are you? Why have you got a servant? Do you live in a big house? Are you rich? How much did your necklace cost? How much was your car? They just ask everything as they see you. They're absolutely fantastic and they don't care what they ask you. But they are absolutely brilliant and they love it coming in here and seeing this and throwing questions at you and wanting to know how it works. So it's great to do that. And I think you're going to be an absolutely fantastic ambassador for this city, as is Alan and Claire. And I think you will do us proud. And all you have to do is carry on doing what you're doing and just talk to people. And I'm just overwhelmed at what I saw out there. I really am. So I want to thank all of you for your support through this year and for my charities. And I think we've raised about £25,000, which isn't bad in this era. So thank you all very much for supporting us and being there. And Councillor Dobbs, Mr Mayor, we will be there if you need us or want us for anything, any help, anything you want us to do, we'll do it. We'll be there for you. So well done, and hope you all have a good year. And thank you all very much for what you've done.
Thank you, Christine. I now call upon Councillor Graham Compton to move the motion to appoint Councillor Karen Greedo to the office of Deputy Ceremonial Mayor for the municipal year 2015 to 16.
Is that on here? Thank you, Chair, and congratulations. I'm delighted to be called upon to move the motion to appoint Karen Garrido to the office of Deputy Ceremonial Mayor for the municipal year 2015-2016. I had prepared 4 pages of foolscap for this, but I was told, no, save your powder for next year. This year, keep it brief. So I will try and be brief. What can I say about Karen? We've been friends since the early 80s, and we are, both families, are very close friends, and it does give me genuine pleasure to be stood here today praising Karen and welcoming her to this position. I know she will do an excellent job. She is passionate and she's compassionate. On the passionate side, some of the achievements that she's had purely by grinding it through are against our good friends at Peel. She was instrumental in stopping the Forest Park development of the racecourse. She's been instrumental in stopping Peel on the Broad Bank recently, of the 600 Broad Oak, on the 600 houses, and it's the passion that she puts in. On the compassionate side, we started Worsley Village Community. Karen, Robin, myself were the instigators of that, but it was Karen that carried it through to the point of we now have the Britain in Bloom, we have the concert on the Green, the Summer Fair, and the Christmas lights, which I'm sure you will enjoy. And I could go on endlessly, but as I say, I've been asked to be brief. I will say one thing to Karen in one word for this year and for next year when she is Mayor. Karen, enjoy.
I call upon Councillor Christopher Clarkson to second the motion.
Twice in one afternoon, as nobody's ever said to me before. I'd like to start by saying that it's no small pleasure to actually recommend my very good friend, mentor and colleague, Karen Garrido, to the office of Deputy Mayor. I am looking forward to a much more verbose and gushing speech next time, but I just want to leave you with one anecdote, because Karen obviously is stepping into the role of an ambassador for our city, and she's going to be the face of the city. People know Karen. I found this out 5 years ago, and I want you to cast your minds back to when we almost won the election on this side of the aisle. I was invited to a meeting with the Prime Minister, as he'd just become, and I'd been the agent for Salford and Eccles, and so, of course, you puff your chest up, you sort of make yourself prevalent, and you try to get favour from the new boss, and he sidles over to you and she goes, so who are you? And I know, I'm Chris Clarkson, I'm from Salford. The next words out of his lips were, oh, how's Karen? So I think we've got a strong contender for the next mayor after Peter. I know Peter will do a fantastic job, but by gum, what's coming next is going to be fantastic. Thank you very much.
I put the motion to the members of the Council for confirmation. Well, thank you, everybody. Congratulations, Karen. And I declare the meeting closed. Thank you. Thanks.
Can I invite everybody present to stand, please, whilst the Civic Mace accompanies the Ceremonial Mayor, Consort and Mayoress in leaving the Council chamber. Thank you.